My mind is telling me, hey, it's Grover time. So let's just do some Grover. Because, yeah, we did get a match of this yesterday. We got a taste of what Deep Roots is like, and it was disgusting. I wanted to spit it out, just, oh, ugh, why did they add that back? But, sadly, the match was a 4v5. One of the enemies ended up crashing, they got bugged, they couldn't get back into the match. So it wasn't really a fair test. So hopefully this time, we won't have a crash, and we'll just be able to play Deep Roots normally. And, yeah. I guess if you aren't caught up yet, if you aren't in the loop about what's going on here, Grover, they pulled an Eagle Eye, where they took Deep Roots, you know, the talent that made it so it spawned a healing pool on the enemy that the crippling throw hit. They took that garbage talent and they decided, no, we're not even going to try to buff it, we're just going to straight up rework it. And they deleted it entirely, and they replaced it with old Deep Roots, which is the talent that caused his crippling throw to root. Now, admittedly, this is the weakest version of the root yet, because the old versions used to chain. And if you go back far enough, every person who got hit by the chain got rooted. So that was disgustingly overpowered. It's not quite that strong. This is just a single target root, no chain whatsoever, just... That's all it is. It's a root instead of a cripple. But it is still insanely powerful. And I can already tell you this is overpowered without even having to test it, because the old version was overpowered because of the single target root. The old version had to get reworked because the single target root was so powerful. It didn't even need the chain. And this doesn't have the chain, but it still has that single target root, so it's going to be overpowered. Just straight up. So we'll play it. We'll play it and we'll demonstrate how strong this is. I believe the enemies are also going to play Deep Roots. I'm going to go for this build, because all my builds on the PTS are outdated, so this will just be cooldowns. Should be fine enough. Get some Chronos. Yep, there Grover is going for Deep Roots. We're going to hit some roots on this Vatu here, hopefully, and it should be just absolutely mean. So, ooh, it looks like he's playing Formidable. Alright, cool. I missed the root. I actually have to warm up my aim a little bit. This is the first match of the day for me, so... Yep, there's that root on Dredge. Do some extra damage to him. He is getting healed. Hold on. Rooted. Outside of your portal. Oh, and we got him. Oh, man. And let me throw that root at Vatu and then just try and get back. Eee, he's sniping me. Oh, but I snipe him. Let's go. Grover does still have keywords as well, by the way. They are removing keywords. They're phasing them out of the game slowly, but Grover still has them. So they got rid of them on Furia, Grok, but not Grover. So this will still benefit from Remedy, which gives us plus 5% damage, plus 10% healing, which I guess is nice, because without it, he does pretty low damage and healing, actually, without that keyword, because they nerfed his base values to compensate for the keyword. And honestly, guys, I have to say, keywords were an even bigger failure than we thought. Because... oh, hey.
Star999 donated $1.
Okay.
I cooked a Blast Willow for you. Took 2 hours of testing. She plays like AndrewChicken. Please give me feedback after testing. Thank you, Mr. Chicken Man.
Yeah, I can have a look at that. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, as I was saying... Ooh, I missed him. Keywords were an even bigger failure than we thought, because keywords, part of why they were added, was to make the new player experience better. But... they catastrophically failed on that, because in my video that I posted on Sunday, talking about, you know, the removal of keywords and just the whole update, I received not one, not two, but several comments of people that were confused about what keywords even were. They still don't know, a year after keywords have been added. That's how, like, just confusing the system was. The whole point was to make the support category easier to understand, right? Oh, you have a healing, a damage, and a hybrid talent. But it didn't even work. It worked so badly that people didn't even know what they were. Like, oof. That's just awful. Wait, I was shocked by how many people were commenting, being like, what are keywords? I don't even understand what you're talking about. You're speaking Greek over here, Andrew. Keywords removed? I didn't even know they were in the game in the first place. What? Which, yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Okay, let me pop up here. And yeah, man, this does feel like old Deep Roots once again. Just, yeah, the amount of disgusting roots that we're just able to hit here and stop these people in place. Throw that root down at Cassie. Oh my gosh, I just lock her down. And the real power of this is when you are actually, you know, coordinating more with your team. Because you have your teammates actually looking at the people who are literally locked in place that can't dodge. They can just burst them down so quickly. And it pairs really, really well with burst damage too, which we do have, because we have Blast Flower, we have Imani. So if I just root someone in place, I could just hit them with 1,000 damage and just absolutely wreck them. Root Vatu. Okay, there we go. I might die. I missed the flick. Yeah, and Fernando's gonna finish me. I do need help with the Vatu. I think I got unlucky with my respawn point there. I kind of respawned on the wrong side of the map. What are the differences between Silence, Root, Stun, and Cripple? Ah, that's a good question if you are newer. Yeah. They're all crowd control. Hard crowd control that disrupt your ability to play the game in some way. So, a stun locks you out of all your abilities. You can't use anything. You can't shoot, you can't use abilities, you can't move, you're completely stuck. If you get rooted, or I guess if you get crippled, that just stops your movement ability. So if I get hit by a cripple, I can't use my Vine, but I can still use my Blossom, for example. If I get rooted, I can't use my movement abilities, and I also can't use my movement, you know, keys. I can't walk around. So that's the key difference between a root and a cripple. And a root is so much more powerful than a cripple, because when you're crippled, you can at least still strafe. And if you have a high movement speed stat, you can still move around pretty quickly. And some characters don't even have movement abilities. Like, if you cripple Tyra, it doesn't matter. But if you root Tyra, it'll definitely still hurt her. And then the last one was a Silence. A Silence is literally just, it stops your abilities, but you can still move. So, it's like a lighter stun.
Hope for many more.
Yes, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you, Rosestar. I'm playing on autopilot right now. What am I doing? This game is completely tied up. So, that's good, I guess, considering I wasn't paying attention. Ah! Let me just throw that root at you. Oh, and that just gets him absolutely stuck and destroyed. There is obviously a way to counter this talent, and that's Unbound. And the enemies are buying a little bit of that. Vatu's starting to pick it up. He definitely needs it. He's Vatu. He will die every time he gets rooted, pretty much. And yeah, Unbound will shut it down pretty hard. It'll make it a quarter of a second root instead of a 1 second root. But that is still pretty powerful to have on such a short cooldown. The thing that always made this super busted is that it's a root, but on a ridiculously low cooldown, and it's super easy to hit. And it doesn't really lock you out of abilities or anything like that. Like, if we compare it to the other roots in the game, Imani's root is probably the next strongest because of its ease of use, right? But still, it has a slow, telegraphed travel distance, right? It locks you out of the rest of your abilities, and it's a long cooldown. So even though it is an AoE bomb and it's a powerful root, it still has those caveats that make it less powerful than Grover's, I would argue. And then you have Octavia's root, which is on a talent and also an ultimate. And it's also extremely telegraphed. Ah! No, I got rooted. And then you have Nyx's root, which is a talent, and it is a really, really long cooldown, and it forces her to sacrifice her only defensive ability. Well, not her only defensive ability, but her main defensive ability. So that's a huge sacrifice as well. So, yeah. Compared to all those, this is by far the easiest access route in the game. And it's also on a support who has some of the best self-healing in the game, really good damage output, really good, just everything. So
Anonymous donated $4.98.
Yo!
Anonymous bought Paladins Deluxe Edition from nexus.gg
The Deluxe Edition!
!!
Yes. Thank you so much, Anonymous. I don't know who you are, but you know who you are, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. I guess that's your friendly reminder, chat. If you want to buy crystals for the upcoming update, or anything, really, do it at my Nexus. You get to support me in the process. Literally just like that. Quick and easy, and it's wonderful. Maybe Deep Roots can have the trade-off where Grover has to take a long wind-up for it. I mean, I don't know how that would really work. I mean, I guess you'd have to, like, change the animation of it? Slow it down? Maybe that could work. Ooh, come here. No, I couldn't save you. Whoops. The thing I've seen floated around is the idea of just lengthening the cooldown, which I think would be a start. Because having a root is a very powerful ability. But, yeah. The, yeah, the cooldown is just really, really short, and that's part of what makes Grover's particularly devastating. Ah! No, I'm just getting chased. I need help. Guys. Let me get some morale boosts. Let me get some armor plating as well. There we go. Yeah, I don't really know. Personally, I would have liked to at least try to buff the old version of Deep Roots, right? The one that was a healing talent, because it was an interesting idea. Like, the thing that I guess irks me is they didn't even try, and then they're reworking it. Just like how they did with Eagle Eye for Kinesso over a year ago. Like, it was a cool idea. Both of them were. And I would have at least liked to test it at least once in a more serious manner before reworking it. But, you know, I guess it's their game, they weren't jiving with it, so that's fair enough, you know. Let me just roll real quick. I'll keep everyone alive. There you go. Uh-oh. Oh, poor Grover. Fernando's coming back here. We gotta protect. Oh no, yeah, cancel the ult. Okay, he's dead. That's good. I gotta run. Try and hit the cripple randomly. Ooh, we got it. Blossom reset. Yes, we're okay. Oh, there's so much garbage. Okay. We got 24 seconds left. We are actually probably not going to win this. Unless we can really just get a metric crap ton of kills right here before the time runs out, but I don't think that's... Yeah, that's physically not possible. Oh, man. This is like a repeat of the Willow video. We're just like... Neither team has made it to 400. We are just barely behind and not capable of catching up in time. Alright. Well, GG's. It was the first game of the day, a warm-up. I was distracted for most of it, and we still did pretty good, I think. And... yeah, Deep Roots is just... crazy, crazy, crazy value. Crazy value. And I actually, wow. What? Okay. Apparently my autopilot is pretty strong, because I got 11 kills, 7 deaths, 92,000 healing, 58,000 damage with Deep Roots Grover there. Their Grover also did really good. 8 kills, 64,000 damage. Actually, more damage than me. Well done. Yeah, both Grovers absolutely popped off that match. And yeah, it was a really close match. Imani really did good work, too. 18 kills, top kills in the lobby. Yeah, that was good, that was close.
Content, Mr. Chicken.
Deep Roots just goes absolutely insane. I mean, it's instantly back to being a viable, possibly meta talent for Grover. So, there really was no question about it. You don't even really need to test it to understand that, yeah, this is back on the menu. Because we had to deal with it previously. It was meta for Grover for like over a year before it got reworked into the mess that it was for recent memory, right? So, yeah, here we go. It's Deep Roots. Hooray.